Hello everyone, I'm Mirsoltani, astronomy educator from Iran, and today I'm here to talk with you about astronomy, language, and cultural continuity, nurturing connection for Iranian migrant youth. I want to start my talk with this beautiful image from Cassini spacecraft. In this image, we can see a part of the Saturn planet, we can see a part of the beautiful rings, and also we can see a pale blue dot, a place we call it home. When we look at the Earth, our planet, from this distance, we can feel that everyone on this planet call this pale blue dot their home. They feel that they have only one home. But if we take a closer look at this planet across different continents, different countries, we can see a huge amount of the population of the world are facing many challenges to call a place on this planet their home. And one of the results of this kind of challenges is the migration. People start to migrate from one country to another country, from one continent to another continent, and this migration can happen because of different reasons. For example, they want to have better access to education. They look for the economic opportunities. Sometimes the political issue and the war may come to into their life, and sometimes a part of the family has already migrated to another part, and the rest of the family wants to join them. When I look at this picture and when I look at my country, Iran in Middle East, which unfortunately nowadays one of the countries with a high rates of migration, I was wondering in my mind what will happen to this civilization. Actually, for a civilization like my civilization, Iran, with a great and big background of the history, art, culture, and literature, I was thinking to myself, especially for the younger generation who has migrated to another country, what will happen to them? How are they going to stay connected with their homeland? How are they going to learn their mother tongue? How are we going to transfer our culture, our literature, our history, and everything we had inside the land to their migrated students? And also, one of the most important thing is the language, because we will see that the language is something more than a tool just to communicate with each other. How are they going to learn their mother tongue? Because in the other parts of the world, for example, they don't speak our language, the Persian. So how are they going to learn that language? Actually, I started as doing astronomy education 10 years ago with the in-person classes. And one of the things I was always having in my mind were these migrated students. So one of the reasons I established the Kargahe Setare Project in 2017 was to reach to this student. This project is completely online based, and it has the goal to promote astronomy and space sciences for all the students, Iranian students across the globe, not only inside Iran. We started by producing educational content and publishing them on various social medias like YouTube, Instagram, Telegram, Twitter, everywhere. And then we try to use the digital platforms to have online classes, online workshops, online meetings for the Iranian students. We try to revise our methods. We try to bring STEAM and STEM activities to online classes. And we start doing astronomy education and outreach, not only for the Iran, but also at the global level. And now, as we are talking to each other, with each other, we have reached more than 10,000 students across the globe. And not only we covered all the provinces of Iran, but also we could reach to more than 50 countries across the globe. And I want to mention here that we have to remember that this revolution that we saw in online education was one of the results of the pandemic. If you remember, in 2021, suddenly across the globe, everyone were attending online classes, online meeting. A lot of digital tools came into being, a lot of digital platforms for having classes come. And that was a milestone for our project. That was when we could reach to hundreds and thousands of students inside and outside the country. This map is so interesting for me. Here you can see the time that I had only in-person classes. This is my city in Tehran, and all of my students were from this city. When online classes begin in the first semester, in less than 3 months, I remember we could cover 15 provinces in Iran, and in less than a year, we had students from all over the Iran. Imagine that in some parts of this country, the students don't have access to very high qualified education and resources, but because of online education, they could come and attend the classes. And after that phase, we covered all the provinces. We started to go to whole countries across the globe, and we could could reach to many students from America, Canada, Australia, Africa, different countries in Europe, different countries in Asia. And today I'm going to focus on these students, the migrated students, Iranian students from different countries. I remember when I started doing online astronomy education for students inside Iran, I saw myself in a whole different era from in-person classes. And it was just like I had to revise all the methods, all the things that I knew from before. And when I started teaching migrated students, again, I felt I have to make a lot of change in my astronomy education and in the Kargahe Setare project too. What was the problem? Actually, we faced a lot of challenges, and I will first tell them very shortly, and then we will go to each of them one by one. First of all, language is the most important one because we decided that our classes, even for the international students, Iranian international students, will be in Persian. But sometimes the students don't know Persian. They were born in America, for example. Most of the times, the English is their first language, and it was interesting that sometimes, for example, the students was coming from Germany, so the first language they learned was German, and then they knew English too, and then we want them to learn Persian too, so they knew two languages, and their mother tongue Persian was the third language. How are you going to teach about astronomy and space sciences to these students? Age group is very important, but when you are working at a global classes, it's not only about dividing students into secondary or primary schools. You have to divide them into very specific group, because when you want to talk with them, you have to use different words, different methods. So age group was another a challenge we face. Also, when we were having students from different countries, the different countries had different educational system, and also they had the students from different countries, from different educational system, were coming to the classes from different backgrounds, from different level of knowledge. How could set a plan for all of these students? Sometimes they knew some sciences related to astronomy and space sciences at different levels, for example, mathematics, physics, and other sciences. So we had to set a lesson plan for all of them. And also, one of the most important one was the time zones, because when you are having the students from different part of the world, sometimes on the one part of the world is day and the other part is the night. So how we are going to manage this? We couldn't put all the students in one class, and then we had to revise that one too. And also, when the students are from different part of the world, the resources that we have available can differ, and we cannot just suggest one thing for all the students from all the countries. The most important one, as I mentioned before, is the language. But we have to ask, is that a limit? Is that a challenge? Is that an opportunity? The most interesting thing is that I saw that in the families, Iranian families, the most important reason they were eager to register their children in our classes, Iranian astronomy classes, was the language, because they knew that their child don't have this opportunity, for example, to go and learn Persian language directly in, for example, in another country. But they were interested in astronomy and space sciences, so they came to the class. The first language was Persian. Actually, we were having two language classes. At the same time, we were talking both English and Persian, but the main focus was on Persian. So they had the chance to, not directly, but they could learn Persian language. And when you learn language, you can read books, you can go to the literature, you can go to read your history, learn about your culture. And for teaching Persian language to these students, we use different methods. We use game-based learning, we use storytelling, we use puppet show, we'll see later. And even we started teaching Persian alphabet to the students who has never seen the Persian alphabet before. With what? With astronomical objects. For example, they were interested in stars and planets. We call them, okay, in Persian, we call planet Sayyare. Sayyare, okay? The first alphabet is having this sound, se, like S, okay? This alphabet in Persian is se, sin, and it has a sound like the S. Okay, I could teach the students. Here we have the planets. We call it in Persian, Sayyare. And then from here, I could teach them sin, se. Or another example, in Persian, we call a star Setare. We could teach them another time this alphabet again. And we use different methods to teach them Persian. And here you can see
ولی یه چیزی میخوام بگم، این والی بچه ها هی بر داریم بالا پای میپره. آره بچه ها، من یه چیزی رو میخواستم بگم. این نکته ای رو بهتره که در نظر بگیرید. من سعی میکنم به شما امروز چیزای خوبی راجع به همکارای خودم، فضاپیماها و ربات ها یاد بدم. So today I'm going to teach you about the rovers and the spacecraft and the space mission in the Mars, and I'm going to give you very, very great information. Okay, we have three types of.
And consider this point. These students from different part of the world. Now they had the chance to meet their friends from different part of the world, Iranian people, which may not be possible in their country. We said that age matters. Age, one of the most important things in online global astronomy education. We had to adopt the language, because when you are talking to a 5-year-old child and you're going to use some words and the level of literature, you have to adopt that. When you are adopting the language you are using and the level of the language you are using, you have to pay attention to your methods. So again, we had to revise all the methods that we had to teach astronomy to these students too. And different countries, we could see that Europe has some specific educational system. America, for example, has some educational systems, and these students were from similar time zones where they coming to class. They were having similar time zones, but different background and different educational system. It could make the lessons for us a little bit challenging. So we had to set a lesson plan that fits everyone. And this one was very complicated, but if that was one of the challenges we had to handle. And another interesting thing that we faced was the different time zones. And when we had different time zones, we were not thinking about the students. This time we were thinking about the teachers. We saw how important is that to train more teachers for our project, because you cannot ask a teacher, okay, stay awake whole night and teach the students, and begin from the morning you are going to teach to the 50 countries from different time zones. That was showing us the importance of teacher training and having multiple teachers. So then we could divide the students, the class at different time zones, to different teachers, so they could be present in their classes with so much energy and smile on their face, actually. So that was one of another challenges we could handle, actually. And then we strongly believe in doing hands-on science activities, but because the resources and the materials we have available in different parts of the world, different families with different backgrounds, is completely different from each other, we find a solution for this one too. And we ask the students, do the activities with all the things that you have available at home. We didn't encourage them to buy anything. We didn't tell them you have to bring this specific thing, which actually made them more creative, which actually improved their imagination. So that was one of the challenges and the a solution we could find for one of the challenges we faced in the astronomy education for the students out of Iran. So in conclusion, I can say that astronomy education can play a significant role in education and also educating the students who has migrated to another country. We can transfer indigenous knowledge to them. And also it's amazing that in every nation, in every language, astronomy education, I think I had this potentiality to be served as a tool for teaching language, teaching alphabet to the students, as I mentioned before. And also through online astronomy education, you can transfer culture, heritage, literature, anything related to the homeland of the students who are living far from their land. You can transfer that, and somehow you can keep these roots into their homeland safe, and they always, no matter wherever they are living, they can feel this strong connection to their homeland. So thanks for your attention.